All right, some numbers for you. 41, 7, and 10. 41 days until Election Day. 7 days until the first debate. And 10 points. Barack Obama's lead in Ohio in the latest polls. We connect. You just get ready for one incredible ride. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. And Mitt, this is it. To hear increasingly frantic Republicans tell it, turn it on fast or stick a fork in your campaign now. Much more in this issue because Mitt Romney may be down in the polls, but that is nothing compared to a bunch of business bigwigs who, as Charlie pointed out, are just down, period. Just to sort of formalize this, fewer than ever are looking to expand or hire, which explains why so many of them are so down on this economy. So our question tonight, per Charlie, is this. How is it swing state voters are feeling up about things, and by extension the president, when the folks who largely hire them are not? To Republican fundraiser Noel Nickpour and wealth manager Ty Young. Noel, that is a big, big political disconnect.
Yeah, you know, and actually that's true, because I've got to tell you something. The CFO is the heartbeat for corporate America. They are seeing, you know, the financial side of things. And if they're negative and if they're depressed about it, that's something you should take notice. And I know something about this firsthand. This is very interesting, but I just did a private roundtable for Senator Wicker out of Mississippi. And we had about 10 businessmen sitting around for this private fundraiser. And one of the guys was a CFO of a very large company, and he's very well respected. And Senator Wicker asked him, "What do you think about the future? What's your feeling?" He actually said, and this is a very well respected man, he said, "Well, I'm loading up on gold bullions, and I'm about to buy a farm in Arkansas." So I thought, oh my gosh, that should tell you a little bit about something. So
well, they're not all that way, maybe. But Ty Young, I mean, the market, the last couple of days notwithstanding, has merrily and blithely taken all this in stride. And I'm wondering whether you think to its own peril, or does it not see what folks like Noel, what Charlie reports, other business titans are seeing?
I'm not so sure the market sees it long term. And if you think about these CFOs, they have to look at this through the prism of being a CFO and looking at profitability going forward. And they look at the notion of having this president for another 4 years and not have to worry about re-election at that point. He's going to be unfettered moving forward with a European socialist model. And they're concerned about that. Unemployment's above 88% for more than 40 months in a row. And the customers for these CFOs, for these companies, their income's down in the last 4 years and in the last 1 year, and their net worths are down 40%. So the customers don't have money to spend, which means the CFOs don't have money to spend, and they've got to respond to that.
Noel, I want to pass along a bite from Rudy Giuliani, the former New York City mayor, who was with me earlier on Fox News talking about these polls that show the president expanding his lead in swing states. He wasn't buying them. I want you to listen to this, react to this. So you think it's much closer than it appears?
I think it is. Do I think Obama has a lead? Yes, I think Obama has a lead. And I think all of us in the Romney campaign better take that very, very seriously. And even worse than that, he's got a lead in some of those very, very key swing states. But by no means is it insurmountable.
All right, so if it isn't 9 or 10 points, I mean, a lot of these swing states, are we beyond the margin of error now where it does give Republicans pause? And to Charlie's point, some of these big money Republicans panic.
Let me tell you something. I used to work for Rudy Giuliani, and he is right on. He knows what he's talking about, and I saw that segment, and I saw it, and I was like, you go, because he's telling it like it is. And they need to be worried about this, and what he is saying is true. And another thing about polls, I do think it's a lot closer out there. I wish, you know, when people see a poll, they just see these various numbers up and down and a 5-point spread and here and there. But an average American, you know, wouldn't it be great to see how they polled, the questions of how they polled, and exactly how they derived at their answers? I think that would really help a lot of people. But I really think that we don't have this at all in the bag. I think that the Romney campaign needs to be, you know, out there doing what they're doing, which is focusing on raising the cash. But, you know, I think it's close.
You know, Ty, as a market guy, they're looking, I think, at Mitt Romney and Barack Obama as stocks, if you will. I want to buy this one or sell the president, buy this new rising issue called Mitt Romney. And it seems like a lot of people in the media have shorted Mitt Romney and either badgered him in the press, said that everything he says is stupid, not giving the same coverage to the president. This is not a right or left issue, just is the way the media covers these guys. And as a result, he's a damaged stock coming out the gate anyway. What do you make of that?
Well, there's no question about it. He's not only running against Barack Obama, he's also running against the mainstream media. And if nothing else, these polls, and I don't believe them because I think the sampling's probably skewed, but this should motivate Mitt Romney in the debates to put the president on his heels and make him defend why we've had unemployment over 8% for 40 months in a row, why the EPA is enforcing things like cap and trade when that's not the law of the land, why it's a good thing for class warfare, why higher taxation and penalizing business owners and job creators is a good thing. Make the president defend that. If he'll do that in the debates, I mean, he's got the framework and he's got the opportunity to do it. If he'll do that, it could be a game changer. So that's the silver lining.
We shall see, folks. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, coming up, the panic in the PACs. So many business guys are going full throttle. And Gretchen Hamill says if big business wasn't handing Mitt Romney fat checks, he'd be in even more trouble, a lot more trouble. And why one of the president's surrogates says jobs are much worse than voters think. And if they only knew what he knows, the president wouldn't even have a shot at keeping his job. After this.